First, we're tracking the tropics, the remnants of Tropical Storm Fred and newly formed Tropical Storm Grace.
We have First Alert Team coverage with the latest on both systems, beginning with Chief Meteorologist Steve Weigel. Steve.
All right, let's talk about it. We have, as John said, two systems out there. One of the remnants, Fred, right here. We also have Grace, which was upgraded earlier today. Tropical storm expected to stay weak and following a track very similar to what we saw with Fred last week. Here's a look at what is really a mess of showers and storms. This moved inland last night over Cuba, and it just didn't have a chance after that. It just lost the warm water of the Florida Straits, the Gulf of Mexico, to really tap into that. But it is what is left of it is expected to drift into the warm waters of the Gulf and re-intensify again as we head into Sunday and Monday. So there is still a track for this as it moves in toward the northern Gulf, and it does still, the forecast, intensify it to a tropical storm once again, making landfall near the, be in the Panhandle or Mobile, just around Alabama. That would happen on Monday or Tuesday, and then weaken quickly after that. It's far enough away from us, obviously, and it's been that way all week, that it's not really a wind issue, but we do have, of course, those rain bands working in, and some of those continue as we head into the evening hours and into tomorrow too. The heaviest rains are actually just to the south, so we're keeping an eye on those. There's a computer model track. Now they're all over the place here because it is the remnants of Fred, and the models don't quite know where to initialize their starting point for the forecast. Either way, they're way to the west of us and not an issue here. We do still have some rain bands working in, some downpours across Wellington, heading into Royal Palm, Waxahachie, and all trailing off through Lantana. Right over our radar site in Lantana, working away from Boynton Beach. And the wider view shows more just off the coast coming in across Delray and Boca. But here's a solid line of rain. Now we're gonna have to keep an eye on this. The models keep this just to the south, but if this works into our area, this could be an issue. We're gonna have more on this. And of course, I'm gonna toss it over to Kate, who's been watching our other system, which is, of course, Grace in the Atlantic.
That's right, Steve. Yeah, just in case you were missing that tropical activity, now that Fred's weakening, we have a newly formed tropical storm, Grace, for you, moving to the west at 26. So Grace is really moving quickly right now, and it is forecasted to stay a tropical storm in strength. And the cone is somewhat similar to Fred, which has it moving over Hispaniola as well as portions of Cuba as we head into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So as we know, tropical storms have a hard time staying together over the mountains of Hispaniola as well as Haiti, and then even some mountains across Cuba as well. So here's the official forecast cone, keeping West Palm out of the cone for now, and projects that it will move into the Gulf. So again, a very similar track to Fred. We have a few days to watch this. We will likely see some impacts, but whether or not it's due to Grace, we are expecting a relatively typical summertime pattern with active storms each and every day. Now, here's the watches and warnings in effect right now for Grace. We do have watches on the eastern edge of Puerto Rico, as well as some warnings for some of the islands, including Puerto Rico and St. Thomas. So they are already getting hit hard by Grace. Now, if you are planning to head out this evening, of course, as Fred weakened and took a track further to the west, our impacts here have been lessened a bit. Now, we could still see some gusty winds as well as some passing storms through this evening. Temperatures staying very mild, right around 80 degrees. Isolated storms after about 9, 10 o'clock.